What is up, everyone? Unnamed person here, and today we're gonna be reviewing the Ultimate Stones album, which is what a lot of Rolling Stones fans say is their best album. It is Exile on Main Street, released on May the 12th, 1972, on Rolling Stones' own label, Rolling Stone Records. Was recorded in the south of France from June 1971 to March 1972. So yeah, pretty lengthy recording. It was recorded at a big mansion in Nelcote, I don't know how you pronounce it, somewhere in around Nice in southern France. Due to tax exile back in the UK where they were from, and so yeah, recorded out of the country, and there's a lot of debauchery behind the making of this album, and it comes out through the music. It's just, most of this album's just a bunch of short rock and roll, very 70s style Rolling Stones songs. This is like, and just a big, yeah, it's a double album with 18 tracks. By the final, it comes with 2 actual LPs. Both are just incredible. The entrance to this album, the song "Rocks Off," is one of the best opening tracks of all time, and one of the best tracks they ever made. It's so energetic. There's so much just music behind it. It's just complete madness. And compare hard rock and roll songs with country sort of songs like Sweet Virginia, with its quite peaceful style, with its harmonica opening, but it works, and surprisingly works with 18 tracks. But yeah, they're all pretty good. But wait. Okay, so I'm going to split this video into 2 parts. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. So, what I was saying is that very hard, sort of very 70s style Rolling Stones songs, basically. Very early 70s. The Mick Taylor is just, it's seen on this album. Or, I mean, it's heard with his, when Mick Taylor joined, the Rolling Stones never recaptured the sound they had with Brian Jones, which was more experimental. This wasn't an experimental album very much. I mean, it has influences of country and blues, but all their albums have influences of blues. I mean, that new one was a complete blues cover album, which is Blue and Lonesome. So yeah, released last year. But yeah. I really don't know what to say on this one, but oh yeah, this is record 2, A Football Coming Out, which has songs like Happy, which is my favorite song on the album. It's just, and one of the most famous songs, Ventilator Blues, another really good one, Let It Loose, another good one, Shine a Light, which is another really famous one, Stop Breaking Down, which is actually a cover of an old Robert Johnson song, which they actually covered another Robert Johnson song on Let It Bleed called Love in Vain, which is still one of the best songs. Another really famous track on this is Tumbling Dice, which is another one of the greatest songs on this album. And like I mentioned before, Rocks Off. I think a majority of what's on this album is really good. It goes for 67 minutes, so it's pretty long. But what I'd say it's the best album? Definitely not. I'd still say Let It Bleed and Beggar's Banquet and maybe even Sticky Fingers is probably better than this. But it's a solid effort, and they put a lot of effort into it. But it's not my favorite, but it's definitely up there. So yeah, I don't know what album to review next, so I'll be back again when I find another album to review. Okay, so the next album that we're going to review is going to be a classic album, and probably my favorite one in his entire discography of 38 records is Highway 61 Revisited by Bob Dylan. Yeah. Better than Blonde on Blonde, I reckon, but I'd say a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but I'd have to say this is my favorite of his work. So yeah. Next album will be Highway 61 Revisited, Bob Dylan. This one was Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones. And actually, while I remember, rating of this album, yeah, good question. I don't even really know what to give it. I'd say at least a 6 point something. I don't know. Probably a 6.5 out of 10. It's a decent effort, really decent. Seriously, it's good, but not my favorite. So yeah, you want to get into like Mick Taylor era Rolling Stones. You know what I mean? Even though he was only with them for like a short 5 years, probably start with Exile on Main Street, then get to something like Sticky Fingers, and then maybe Go Ted Soup. Well, actually, yeah, maybe Let It Bleed, and then like Sticky Fingers and Go Ted Soup. But yeah, I'll see you in the next review. Goodbye.